Well, welcome in everyone. Whether you're a future policymaker, a business leader, or honestly just someone trying to figure out how the world works, you found the right explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute fundamentals, how the stark reality of scarcity literally shapes the highest stakes decisions out there. We're going to explore the invisible forces driving every single choice we make, from your local town hall all the way up to global policy.
So let's just kick things off with a pretty simple question. Think about it. Whether you're a city council trying to balance a tight local budget or just planning out your weekend, what unseen price tag are you actually paying? Because the hard truth is, making any decision always means you are leaving something else behind.
Section 1. The reality of scarcity.
Right, so to understand how governments and giant businesses actually make choices, we first have to tackle the ultimate human problem. And that is scarcity. It's this fundamental condition where our desires are constantly always exceeding our available resources. It isn't just about a lack of cash. It's the inescapable reality that we simply do not have enough stuff to do everything we want. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate reality check for any decision maker.
And scarcity applies to absolutely everything finite. Think about time, money, labor, natural resources. Every single time a city council funds one project, they are fundamentally forced to neglect another one. There's no way around it. Our desires might be totally infinite, but our tools, well, they are strictly bound by reality.
Moving right along to Section 2, defining opportunity cost. Now, this lack of resources, it builds up into this invisible force that dictates every single move you make. We call it opportunity cost. Basically, it's the true cost of a decision. And we measure that by looking at the lost value of the next best alternative, the one you didn't choose. So it's not actually about the literal dollar amount you spent. No, it's entirely about the ghost of that missed opportunity you left on the table.
Which brings us to Section 3, the $300,000 dilemma.
Let's bring all this abstract theory down to earth for a second. I want you to imagine a local school board, and they are staring down a very strict, very finite budget limit of precisely $300,000. That is it. That is the absolute maximum they have to spend on major community upgrades for the entire year.
So they face a really painful trade-off. Do they go with option A, which is funding 2 brand new school buses for $150,000 each? Or do they pivot to option B? That one provides comprehensive safety upgrades for 4 elementary playgrounds at $75,000 apiece. You do the math, both total exactly $300,000. And obviously, both are incredibly desirable for the community. But because of scarcity, there is just no way they can do both. Let's say they select the buses. What actually happens? Well, the absolutely crucial point here is that the true cost of those buses is not just the $300,000 on the invoice. Actually, it's the lost potential of enhanced playground safety. Or, say there was another alternative for new educational tech, the cost would be that lost learning potential. The true cost is exactly whatever specific benefit they gave up.
Let's look at Section 4, data-driven decisions.
So how do leaders actually navigate these painful trade-offs without, just guessing? Well, they turn to a really rigorous empirical tool called cost-benefit analysis. It objectively weighs the positive outcomes against the negative ones. And yes, that absolutely includes those hidden opportunity costs. Basically, it takes the emotion out of the room and brings the math in, helping them find the absolute greatest net benefit.
When we actually quantify these choices, it gets super interesting. We see our options all cost $300,000, sure, but they yield vastly different outcomes. Option A projects a reduction in accidents by Y%. Meanwhile, option B reduces injuries by Z%, and maybe those tech upgrades could improve test scores by A%. By using hard data, we can take entirely different types of benefits and put them into a single comparable framework. And by mapping out these hypothetical net benefits side by side, the school board can objectively see exactly which option delivers the absolute most value for their extremely limited resources. They aren't just picking what sounds nice. They are literally calculating the greatest return on their investment.
Okay, final part, Section 5, your new economic lens.
Let's zoom back out to the broader world for a minute, because this framework, it applies everywhere. From your personal choices on a Saturday about how you're going to spend your free time, all the way up to massive national debates on healthcare or global climate change initiatives. These exact same forces of scarcity are always at play. Every single dollar, hour, or natural resource spent in one area is directly, inescapably denied to another.
And this builds your new economic lens. It really empowers you to evaluate public policies and develop innovative solutions on your own. You can now look at complex investments and weigh the empirical pros and cons with total clarity. You're no longer just looking at what a policy provides, you're actively hunting for what it costs and missed opportunities.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. The very next time you see a headline about some massive new government policy or a huge corporate investment, I want you to use your economic lens and ask yourself, what was left on the table and what empirical data actually proves it was the right choice? Because every choice has a hidden cost. The question is, are you ready to find it? Keep analyzing, and we'll see you next time.